Manufacturers are asked to deliver their product data in specific industry standards. For example, E-Class Basic, ITIM, and UNSPSC. Industry standards release new versions once a year. Consequently, manufacturers work with several industry standards and also with several versions of each industry standard. The problem is that manufacturers must map manually their products to each new version of each specific industry. This is a very time-consuming task and requires a lot of personnel. For instance, data stewards must map product data to E-Class Basic versions or map between E-Class Basic and other industry standards. Therefore, manufacturers need a smarter way to create the mapping between their product data and the different industry standards. Now, with our 2023.4 release, manufacturers can use our new Industry Standard Mapper tool with the onboarding framework. Our new Industry Standard Mapper tool automatically handles the movement of data. For instance, moving an attribute value from one list of values to another, or updating an attribute validation rule without the need for manual intervention, while still providing full control and traceability. Now, it's easier for manufacturers to maintain the mapping rules, which before could be difficult to identify. For example, it's more evident now which manufacturer's attribute is mapped to which attribute, or what the transformations rules are, if calculations are used, if it's a value-to-value mapping, along with others. Now, we have a mapping tool that automatically supports the mapping of product data, ensuring good data quality. It's important to highlight that Release 23.4 only supports E-Class Basic to E-Class Basic mappings. Stay tuned for more improvements in future versions.
Before users start mapping products to E-Class Basic industry standard, the mappings required are already downloaded by the administrator. For instance, mappings to merge data from E-Class Basic 10.0 to 12.0. Here, on the E-Class Basic 10.0 tab, we can see the attributes visible on this version. However, there are attributes and attribute values here that are still not visible in E-Class Basic 12.0. For instance, depth, height, type of cooling, and width. Here, on E-Class 12.0, we can see the attributes that have been automatically mapped to the version 12 because they didn't change between the two versions. However, we cannot see some attributes, like depth and width, from version 10.0 because they have changed, so they were not mapped automatically. Now, all I have to do is to go to the Mapping Screen tab and select the mapping that is going to merge E-Class Basic 10.0 to E-Class Basic 12.0. Here, on the Onboarding Comparison screen, we have 6 attributes to be merged to E-Class Basic 12. One of them is the E-Class Basic itself. These 6 attributes are going to be mapped to the new E-Class version where some values are empty at the moment. If, for some reason, I don't agree with the suggested update, for instance, I don't want to update the rated voltage value, I just click the Auto Update Group button and unmark the attribute. Now, it's 5 out of 6 attributes to be updated. Then I go Next, confirm my selection of attributes, and onboard them. Back on the onboarding comparison screen, I see the updated attributes. If I go to E-Class Basic 12.0 tab, I see that the type of cooling attribute name is now cooling type with the same attribute value, and the other attributes from version 10 are in version 12. No more type of cooling. All the mappings that were done manually now are done automatically.